All right, once again, it's time for your favorite podcast. This is Survival of the Fittest. This is the Soup du Jour. I'm Roberto Tremino, your chef on the podcasting platforms in the universe. All right, everybody. So, very unique show this evening because we're actually in one of these food halls. All right. But here's what's cool about it. I go to food halls in downtown Orlando, and the biggest issue for me is the parking. And it costs too much, or you get a ticket, or there just isn't any available. You go to different parts of town where they're kind of contemplating the food hall, and it just hasn't dished out, But there's a very unique little food hall out here in East Orlando in Avalon Park. Now, Avalon Park is a very, very unique, small little niche community out on the east part of Orlando. And I'd have to say probably like the farthest reaching, the last stop almost in Orlando. But it has plenty of parking. Big, built, brand new, well-lit parking lots. And this food hall, and a very cool Mexican restaurant called The1catina. Now, The1catina is where we're actually sitting now. It's actually closed, and it's nice because I've been working with Gio and Marigel on their project here, and it's very, very cool. It's great Mexican food. It's got sort of let's say it's kind of a gastropub sort of approach to your favorite Mexican flavors, as opposed to going to like where you go to the Mexican restaurant and you get the rice, the beans, and everything, which is all delicious and I love, don't get me wrong. But it's another little scenario. It's another little kind of niche Mexican restaurant, and it's doing a great job. So I've been kind of like troubleshooting with them for about a month now, and it's a wonderful restaurant. What I like best, though, is the marketplace. The official name is the Avalon Marketplace. It's a must if you live anywhere in Orlando. What I've noticed is Orlando's become the kind of town where you just don't necessarily stay in your neighborhood. You go around to eat. You go to different neighborhoods. You go to different restaurants. You want to try different foods. And this is worth the drive, all right? And it's once you're here, it's super convenient. So you got to include it in your must dine. If you're on the way on the beach line to the east, to the water, to the ocean, then it's a quick little left on Innovation and just take that straight into Avalon Park and you're here. If you're closer to Waterford Lakes or or Winter Park, you just take Alafaya straight on down and you make a left and you're here. So it's not like, oh my goodness, I have to go way out of town. I have to go somewhere so far. It's really not. It's very convenient and it's worth the drive. It's such a nice environment. It's just got such a safe and family-oriented feel to it. It has... if you're looking for ese ambiente latino, también lo tiene porque, hey, what can I say? This is Orlando, and it speaks to that demographic very well. So it's very fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very safe. Definitely work it. Now, the food is great. There's some great options. There's a beer bar, where you can get all the tap beer you want. On tap, very good. The little coffee spot, the ice cream spot, the cheese board with the wines and everything in place, and they kind of serve for everybody. There's an Italian concept. There's a Korean concept. There is a hot dog and burger place that's relatively new, and they're doing a great job. As a matter of fact, I am a firm believer that they are one of the most delicious things to get in the marketplace. It's Dusty Dogs, because they do a Chicago-style hot dog. And those of you who know what that means, when it's done right, it's done right. And I will say that they do kind of they stray from the classic Chicago hot dog, but they use something that I am totally in line with. They use like that yellow brioche lobster roll bun for that hot dog, and it is delicious. So it's one of the things that I eat here. It's not big enough to be like a meal, but certainly a great snack. And, 2 or 3 of them, maybe, it could be a big meal. But, I stick to one, but it is delicious. So definitely worth that, And then there's a place called, I think it's called Lemon Shark. And they do the classic, the pokies and the miso soup and all those fixings, and it's good. And I think that it's if you're kind of looking for that kind of environment where you can have a few cocktails and or a few beers and some, variety of food, and you want to sit around, there's live entertainment here, and they do their thing. And I think it's definitely something that, as somebody who looks for things to share on the podcast, this is one thing that I'm happy to share with all of you, because it really has a very nice and sophisticated feel. It has a modern kind of dining feel to it. And yes, it's a food hall. But then there's a little tiny like offshoot to the food hall, a little glass door that you come through and you reach the 1catina. And it has a full bar with probably the most extensive tequila and mezcal this side of the Rio Grande and or the Mexico Pavilion at Disney. But it has it. And I think that they've done a very good job to not only like do really great cocktails, because they have a great, Marihel is in charge of the bar, and she really pushes it to do exciting drinks for the people. You get the big block of ice. We're really specific about making sure you have that ice if you're going to have an old-fashioned or something along those lines. So the mixology is very serious. But when it comes to, like, enjoying mezcal or tequila, they have very few rivals in Orlando. Not because of the amount of coverage, because this is a very small spot, but it's the variety and the quality of mezcals and tequila that they have that really gives them the edge. And, it's not like your margarita joint where you go and you just get a great margarita for like cheap. No. Even though they got decent prices, it's not like outrageous. They've got quality. And I think that says a lot. Now, if they're doing that in the bar, the kitchen's not far behind. Now they've had kind of like some turnovers in the chef department, which, is never the easiest thing to deal with, and certainly not the best thing to do as a restaurateur and as a restaurant guest. That's not what you want to hear. You want your favorite thing. You want your favorite, dish, let's just say, and that chef has got it mastered. And then that chef leaves, and then your favorite dish kind of leaves with them. So yeah, it's had those issues, but I think that they've definitely gone past it. I have helped them sort of just stabilize, I think, the kitchen a little bit, but they're doing a great job, and they have a great staff, and I think that's most the battle. So for me, it's been kind of it's been a real pleasure, without a doubt. And we've also been eyeing different talent out there, and we may have locked in on a chef that not only will see the owner's vision of what they believe is a modern expression in the Mexican, culinary scene, but someone who can deliver. And I'm hoping that can happen, because I think with the combination of what I bring to the table, and that's basically just kind of like trying to give it that old G, all right, that old G angle, and someone with a little bit of an innovative eye or a younger take on Mexican flavors and presentations. And I think that's where this restaurant is headed. And for that sort of high end without the high end sticker price, you're going to get a really unique experience. And I think that's amazing. And I think that you find that in a little niche community like Avalon Park here in East Orlando. I think that's wonderful. I think that's where you can have that lifestyle that you're looking for, where you're always looking for the coolest new drinking spot, watering hole, cantina, and or your favorite new little place to go get some of your favorite snacks or a meal. And this place fits all that. So definitely add it on to your list. And, wow, that was close. And definitely make it out here. And when you do, make sure you say hi to Gio and Marigel. And if I'm around, then definitely say, hey, where's Chef Trevino? And we'll do a little bit of survival of the fittest, the soup du jour talk. But ultimately, I think this is a winner. And if you do live in Orlando, make sure you make it out here to the Avalon Park Marketplace. It's worth it. It's worth the drive. It's worth the time to spend out here. You can watch football. They got TVs going. They got, like I said, live entertainment on the weekends. And on some Thursdays, I'm not sure the actual schedule, but I'm sure you can find out online. And the people are great. It's got a lot of, it's a great neighborhood. It's, again, very safe. And that has value. That has worth in my life. To feel safe. And that is definitely this place. And, there's nothing that says, safety and value than seeing families. And that's what you'll see. There's definitely a lot of families here. And then, of course, on the weekend nights, it's a very sexy feel to it. Everyone's dressed to kill. The Latinos, I believe, that do who live in Avalon Park, they dress up. And they do want to come out to have a great meal. And they come to this restaurant, the 1catina, forgive me. And that's what they have. They have a great night out where they sit around and they're dressed up and they're having cocktails and enjoying one great dish after the other, in the Mexican food lexicon. Exciting, lifestyle, and wonderful. So next time you're anywhere in East Orlando and you're thinking you're hungry, definitely drive out here to the Avalon Marketplace. And if you're feeling like you want a really unique Mexican dining experience, make sure you visit the 1catina. Ask for Marigel and Gio. They're your hosts here. They're the owners. And if I'm around, I'll definitely come out and say hello. And always keep in mind that it's always just a lot of fun to go out and dine. And here's another option for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Survival of the Fittest, is the soup du jour. I'm Roberto Trevino, your chef on the podcast. It's about salt and pepper and good flavor. Saludos a Puerto Rico. Saludos a todo el mundo desde Nueva York, a California, Texas, Mexico, Ireland, and of course our friends in the subcontinent. We have a lot of friends that we've made all of a sudden in the subcontinent. So welcome. It's good to have you all on board. Keep on cooking, keep on enjoying life, and we'll talk soon.